Alright, here we are with Alabama today. Y'all been following us, y'all know that she's gotten to where she is pretty skittish. And she started real skittish. And then she got to where she was pretty bronky. We've been treating her for ulcers. I think she had ulcers pretty good. She seems to have gotten a little better. But y'all see, left is her comfort way. It got to where I'm going to let her go left for a little bit, and then we're going to swap it to the right, and I'm going to make her go right. It got to where anytime you turned her right, she would buck and got bronky. So we treated the ulcers. This will be my second ride back from the ulcers, and yesterday I did work on a bunch of right with her. And she finally got to where she kind of softened up on it. So today I'm going to let her loosen up, kind of get over her, first few minutes of fear here. She still gets real bad. And I think that's kind of what causes the ulcers is anxiety in the horse. She's always, no matter how much we mess with her, how much she does desensitizing, no matter how much she licks her lips, she always shows you those signs of, okay, I'm comfortable, but I don't know that she's 100% really comfortable because, come on, now we're going to swap her right, and she'll be stiff. You'll see the first few turns, we'll turn her, she'll get stiff, but she'll eventually get to where she starts bringing that nose around again. So it's not saddle. We've tried every saddle. She just got to where I really think that there was ulcers, and then she got to where, okay, I'm so used to going left because it was her protective side of those ulcers maybe. And so she's got to relearn that the right is not going to bother her. So we're just going to kind of keep her here in a right-hand turn, right-hand circle, let her loosen back up. We'll do this for a few days, and then we'll get her back out in the open and hope that all is cured, and we can go on with going forth with finishing up the few last things we got to finish. It's always hard when you're training a horse, and then something like this kind of sets you back. And then now we've got something we've got to go fix, but that's part of the job, and that's part of training. And your job as a trainer is to kind of figure out what the problem is. Is she really sore, or is she just or does she just want to be a bronc? You gotta. There's times where there's nothing wrong with the horse at all, and they just want to be a bronc. And then there's times where there's something ulcers, or there's something wrong with a foot, or they could be sore in their back or their neck, or there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. And there's all kinds of times that they can just have setbacks too. I'm going to start turning her a little more. Instead of such big circles, let's try to get the circles a little tighter. See if we can get her a little more flexing. She flexes great when I'm not on her. So it tells you that it's something that she's uncomfortable with while you're in the saddle. She's fine with it on the ground, 100%. So, and that's why I think, and I know if you ever had a horse with ulcers, that it's usually there on that left-hand side, and they're usually protecting it. And then I think if you turn them right, it really kind of opens it in the area, and it maybe twists it just enough to where it does hurt more to the right. So she's got to just kind of relearn that she's now okay. She can go this direction. And I truly think that the nervousness is why. She's gotten better. She's not needing the lunge as much. I mean, we're still lunging her just to help her out, but she's not like crazy in it. She doesn't do any bucking. She's not running 90 miles an hour in it. First, used to when you would take this horse and, start lunging, it was 90 miles an hour on the round pen. I mean, it was stupid fast. Like she was just running away from a ghost, and there'd be some sporadic bucking here and there in it. and now it's really calmed down. It's I'm gonna just kind of lope for a second, and then she kind of kicks it down to a trot unless you ask more. So she's really calmed down a lot on the anxiety, I think. But I truly also think that that anxiety is what's caused the ulcers. You know, I know a lot of barrel racers, and a lot of those barrel racers, almost every one of them's got ulcer problems with their horses, and I think it's because those are horses with high anxiety. They live to just come out of there and run 90-0, and I just think it's a trait that barrel horses wind up usually getting. I've never met very many barrel racers who don't have ulcer problems. It's a very common problem in the barrel racing world, and I think it's just something to do with the barrel horses get to where they're anxious horses, and I think anxious and anxiety is what really helps cause those ulcers. I know that there's other things that cause them too, but I think that that's a real big key factor. And just like in humans, they say, thank God I've never had ulcers, but they say high-stressed people are the ones who get ulcers real bad. So I try not to stress over anything or much. But so if it's the same, if it's that way in humans, I would assume, which, you know, that's not really a good thing to do, but there's got to be some truth to if stress is bad in humans, it's got to be bad in horses. It's got to cause problems like ulcers and stuff. Now you'll see she's starting to drop her head, relax a little, not be so alert. She's starting to pull that head around a little more. We just want her to really realize and learn that, hey, going right is not hurting me. Also, she was super sensitive on the sides. If my foot came close to her side, she was bucking. And that's kind of gone too. Like, my feet are dangling here. I can squeeze a little bit like I just did there. Nothing. Before, if I did that, she was blowing up. Well, she's still sensitive on the sides. She's always been a pretty sensitive horse, though. But, you know, she just kind of kicked up there. She didn't blow up on me. She didn't take off and buck like she had just been. So we're really trying to get this problem solved. This horse is leaving mid-month. I really hope this horse does good for the people. They've been great customers. I've enjoyed working with her. She's been very challenging at times. She was an older horse, unhandled. It's not like when you get a 3 or 4 year old horse that's, you know, fresh. There's nothing to fix. It's just all teach. On these older horses, there's a lot to fix. And, you know, she was real nervous. She was real skittish. She was real scared of people. And that has not 100% gone away. And it sometimes never does. So we're just hoping that we've got her to where she's good enough that they can still enjoy her. I know they've got some experienced riders there that can help ride her. I would definitely say this horse is just fine for an experienced rider. No issues there at all. But and maybe after just a long time of riding, she might, you know, a few years down the road get to where everyone can ride her. But we've got that foundation there. We've taken a lot of time to put in a good foundation for her to get to that point. As long as she's ridden and messed with, I think she'll do just fine. Just get through this problem. Okay, so that's center back left, her comfortable side. I'm going to let her go a few turns. You see how she's kind of watches out of that one eye. So now I want to kind of just send her back to the right. Make sure it's not a problem. There we go. So she's getting to where she's flexing better. We're going to keep riding. We're going to keep flexing on her. We're going to definitely do our best job finishing her up. But that's going to be it for the video. we got some riding still left to go. But y'all, thank y'all for following us, liking us, and sharing us. And y'all have a great day.